Hi, I'm Christopher Warnock of Renaissance Astrology, and today I'm going to talk about fixed star magic, Hermes on the 15 fixed stars, and our new Agate Deneb Algedi talismans. So, what is a fixed star? Uh, if you look up in the sky at night, you can see stars, obviously, and there's over 1,000 fixed stars, and they're arranged in 48 constellations, 12 zodiacal constellations and 36 extra zodiacal constellations. And the fixed stars, unlike the planets, planet means wanderer. They move relative to each other really obviously. The fixed stars basically stay fixed relative to each other. Now they move over very slowly over a longer period during the precession of equinoxes, so about a degree every 72 years. So if we look at the traditional geocentric astronomy, we've got the 7 planetary spheres starting with the moon, going all the way up to Saturn, which is the furthest sphere away from us as far as planets. And then beyond that, we have either the 8th sphere, the fixed stars, or the 9th sphere. It gets a little, sometimes they put the zodiac together with the fixed stars, sometimes they're separate. But in any case, the fixed stars are beyond the planetary spheres. And Ficino says, and there's a tendency in modern astrology, basically, we're used to planets ruling things, so we assume the planets rule everything. Fixed stars are above the planets, both physically and sort of philosophically in the geocentric astronomy, and therefore the fixed stars actually have power of the planets. And here's what Ficino says in 3 books on life. Ficino is a very famous Renaissance astrological magician and philosopher. He says, from every star there hangs down platonically its own series of things from the highest to the lowest. It says, under the celestial serpent, which is a fixed star, or the entire constellation of the serpent, they place Saturn and sometimes Jupiter. Afterwards, daemons, who take on serpent's form, men of this kind, serpents, the animals, snakeweed, the stone draconite. So the fixed stars are a very important part of the great chain of being, and also the diffusion of occult virtue through the celestials, through all things. So extremely important to work with magically, and to have an understanding of what's going on. So our key source for fixed stars is a book called Hermes on the 15 fixed stars, also in Latin known as De Quindecim Stellis. And this is our translation, the Renaissance Astrology translation by Hess, with my commentary, published by Renaissance Astrology. This is a comprehensive translation and includes all 4 major variants of the Hermes on the 15 fixed star manuscript, as well as the versions used by Agrippa, Ficino, and other versions of it. Very important. So what's interesting about it is that it's probably it's a Hermetic text, probably has its roots in the classical period. The versions we have are medieval, and it's circulating in manuscripts. So there's a lot of different versions of it. So the automatic assumption is going to be which is the best, okay, and then which is the original. And these are all this is how an academic would approach it. Because to an academic, all this stuff is fake, somebody made it up, and so the only way to check it is going to be to go back and find out the original person who originally made up this fake stuff, and then check it. So like a novel. Let's look at the original manuscript. This is not how magical practitioners looked at it. They looked at it, and I look at it as a cookbook. So all the different versions are like having different versions of recipes for different cookbooks. They all work. They're all useful. And there's not a right one in terms of one being right for everybody. You can look at this, you can find out which one you like the best, which one fits your preference, which one resonates with you, and that's going to be the one that's right for you. But you really can't come in and say, oh, this is the best one for everybody. I mean, that's basically just ego or really not understanding what's going on here. But like I said, like a cookbook, you look up the recipe, you try the recipe, and then you decide whether you're happy or not with the results, and then that's true for you. So the 4 variants are the quadripartitus, which means 4 parts, which is the most voluminous, not necessarily the best, but again, it has a lot of information in it. Then the table of the 15 fixed stars, and this is the one that appears on my website. And then the Liber Enoch and Liber Thebet. These are all, variations of the Hermes on the 15 fixed stars. And what's great about this source is that it tells us what the talismanic powers of each of the fixed stars, of the 15 fixed stars are. It gives us a sigil. Each source has its own sigil for each of the 15 fixed stars. It provides an image description provides incense, and then tells it what it rules. So basically it gives you everything you need to know to invoke the angel of this of this fixed star, and to make the talismans of the fixed star. So it's really, really helpful. I mean, like I said, there's over 1,000 of the fixed stars, but we don't know what they're used for. We don't know their sigils. We don't know their, the images. We don't know what they rule. So again, they're potentially possible to make talismans with them, but we just don't have the information. And my view is originally this information about the sigils and the images and incense and everything was provided to mages and sages through dreams, through visions, through direct contact with the spirits. It's not something that they just made up, deconstructed as something, or they just mechanically made through some kind of algorithm or something like that. This is direct information from the spirits themselves. So that's why these books are really precious. Check out the link there. You can get a copy of this, Kindle, Amazon, however you want to do it. But very much, if you are serious about astrological magic, you really should have a copy of the Hermes on the 15 fixed stars in our Quindecim Stellis translation. So today I want to talk about one specific one as I think a good example of the fixed star magic, to take a look at it just as a useful kind of exemplar, and this is Deneb Algedi. This is also known as a Delta Capricornus, so that's the fourth brightest star in the constellation Capricorn. It's a fixed star in the tail of Capricorn, known as the Cauda Capricornus. Let me just show you, these are our new green agate Deneb Algedi talismans, and you can see here there's the goatfish Capricorn on the front there. Gorgeous green agate. These are just fabulous talismans. Only have a few of these. If you're watching this too much after December of 2024, they're going to be sold out. But check it out. I have a few bronze right now. Again, we're kind of running a little low on the bronze as well, but those we try to keep a little bit better in stock. Let me also show you the image for these. This image was done for us by Nigel Jackson, and it's just a fabulous, again, you can see the goatfish there. Fabulous image for consecration, invocation, and for contemplation of this really incredibly powerful fixed star. Let's learn a little bit more about Deneb Algedi. For example, the Tabula Stellarum, which is the standard text that I've been using, it's on my website. It says Deneb Algedi gives favor in court and lawsuits, and improves the home in which it's kept, and makes the home safe from all harm, and increaseth wealth in every way. So very helpful. So this is specifically for winning lawsuits. That's useful for, it's a kind of limited use in some ways, but it's very useful for people that want that. But also for your home. So not only does it protect the home, but it improves it. And then this is also a wealth talisman. Liber Enoch says, know that the house where this is kept will be greatly improved, and they will be sound of body, so it's health as well, who dwell therein, and their wealth will be increased without doubt. Liber Thebet says, its virtue is to grant favor in causes and lawsuits, to increase wealth, and the dwelling in which is kept will be abide unharmed. So it's interesting, like I said, to see these different you can see that there's a lot of similarities between these sources, and then there's some also differences. But obviously the Deneb Algedi talisman is really a great talisman if you're interested in lawsuits, like I said, interested in home protection, but also in health for all members of the family. Obviously this is extending to everybody in the household, and then as a wealth talisman. So it's got a lot of kind of diverse powers. Not all talismans will do that, particularly the protection and wealth. This is an unusual combination, and wealth is probably number one in terms of what people are looking for, and then protection is probably number two, and then number three would be love. So we've got two of the three most popular powers, and that makes the Deneb Algedi a really great talisman. The other thing that's interesting about Deneb Algedi is that there's a tendency to want to try to substitute fixed stars for planets, which you can't do directly. I don't think you can just say, okay, this fixed star equals this particular planet. But as you remember, I was talking about occult virtue. These sort of streams of occult virtue come through the fixed stars and then go through the planets. And so there are fixed stars that have a significant overlap of occult virtue, and you could call it energy if you want to take that sort of formulation, with planets. So again, not a complete substitute, but a useful way of getting some of that occult virtue. So because this is Deneb Algedi, which is Capricorn ruled by Saturn, this is, I think, is a good way to get some of that sort of Saturnine energy to get a similar, at least a similar occult virtue. And lots of people have afflicted Saturns. I mean, if Saturn's retrograde, which he is all the time, then, that's, that makes Saturn talismans, you got to put a question mark on it. You got to wonder whether this is a good choice for you or not. So, and as you go through different fixed stars like regulars for the sun, etc., I'm going to put a list there on the site. You can check those out. So definitely, fixed stars have really become cutting edge. People are very excited about them, getting more interested in them. What you really want to do if you're getting serious about it is check out, this Hermes and the 15 fixed stars in our translation. Now, one of the things that people have a problem with is how do you elect times. Now, there's lots of planetary hour calculators out there, and planetary hours are great for planets. But fixed stars, you need to be able to do a full chart election. So that's another, advantage of taking my Astrological Magic course. We deal with that in full, and if you finish the Astrological Magic course, you completely be on board as how to do fixed star talismans. So I highly recommend that. The software, there's not any software out there. There's some, Astro app does elections, but it doesn't do the daily stuff. It's not really, they have ones, there can be people, I've had people get frustrated with that program. Partly also because they think, oh, I don't have to learn how to do this, how to do a full chart election. I can just buy some software and it'll do it for me automatically. That is problematic, I think, in any case. And so I always think it's better to do a full chart election. You can certainly do it with a chart, with a star rising or culminating if you're going to do a daily consecration, if you're doing it frequently. For the creation of a fixed star talisman, I'm going to want to have, following, again, Hermes on the 15 fixed stars, I'm going to have the fixed star rising or culminating. I'm going to have the moon applying by a conjunction, sextile, or trine to that fixed star, and then them unafflicted. Now, what you consider to be unafflicted, that's going to differ depending on the person who's applying it. But that's your basic recipe for the talisman. You can do that for consecration, but also, like I said, when I'm doing a daily fixed star ritual, I'm going to do rising or culminating. And so, in my devotional practice, I've really incorporated the fixed stars in, and I actually do a daily devotional practice with Algol and the Pleiades, which are very close together, so I can kind of do a twofer with that. That requires me every single day to calculate the rising or culminating of those fixed stars, depending on what time of year it is. So I also have a blitz. It says Algol blitz, but it's for any fixed star. So if you're wanting to do a more intense invocation, more intense encounter, want to punch up the power of that fixed star, you can check out that blitz, and that'll do once a week for 7 days, and then once a day for 7 times for the whole week, so 7 days a week for 1 week, and then 3 weeks once a week. So a total of 10, and that gives you a really intense consecration. So if you're getting into this devotional practice, like I said, you want to punch up the power, that's definitely something I would say check out and do. If you get a fixed star talisman from Renaissance Astrology, you get one free election, so I'm happy to do that. And then you can also get more elections from me if you want to, once you got the talisman. So definitely a really important part of my magical practice. And people are increasingly getting interested in fixed stars. Also constellations. You can see we have a full selection. Check out all our fixed stars talismans at Renaissance Astrology. We have pretty much everything available except Arcturus, because Arcturus is like for stopping the flow of blood, which there just is not enough demand to make it worthwhile to make those fixed star. But every single other fixed star talisman we have in stock, or we try to keep in stock, because I think it's important to have a full toolkit and full opportunity to do that. So definitely check out our really amazing, gorgeous new green agate Deneb Algedi talismans, and check out all the different resources of how you can dive into fixed stars. Like I said, you can get a fixed star talisman, take the fixed star course, start doing your devotional practice, increase that with the fixed stars, do a daily practice. All these things are amazing options, very exciting to kind of expand your use of the fixed stars, and also expand the really positive influence in your life. So I hope you find that interesting. Check out those links, and I look forward to doing more fixed star talismans and fixed star devotional practice as we continue.